My name is Max, and I am here with the Independent Investor. This is the third episode, and today is another exciting day with the same goal of educating and learning more and more about cryptocurrencies, spreading the knowledge, and making good trading decisions and investment decisions when you're in this space. Now, I have Coinigy brought up right off the bat to show the recent trend for Bitcoin. Just to start off with that, Bitcoin is doing real well right now, and it is well over 16,000 at this point. And the last couple of days, I said, yeah, it would take a solid week or so to get this trend popping to new heights, and it looks like it's on its way there. Nonetheless, it is moving up, and I am excited about it. It's always nice when Bitcoin goes up. This isn't really the story. The story of the day is in altcoins. These cryptocurrencies are basically wildfire right now. The one that I want to look at first is this right here. Now, as you see right over here, gas is at $51. I told my fellow companions back when it was down at $20 that it was on the Neo network and that it would succeed in a very similar manner. And it is doing quite well for itself. Neo is over $100, but I've already discussed Neo. I am proportionately in both of these cryptocurrencies, and I think they were both good decisions. The trend is very bullish right now. New high being made on the 6th and on the 4th. New low created down on the 5th, which is basically level with the previous low over here on the 2nd. So I consider that almost entirely a bull. It's not technically, it's not a bull. It's more of a megaphone because the low is lower. You know, this most recent low is a bit lower than this previous low. So I don't believe that this has like the full like bull trend capacity. I do, if you could see the tab, I do want to talk about Skycoin and its Fibonacci lines. I have a section that I recorded last night that I'm going to throw into this about some missed opportunities in cryptocurrencies. Not necessarily regrets, because I can still make at least Skycoin into an opportunity from a technical analysis standpoint. I can still make some money off of that. So when I get there, I'll throw in the footage. Before that, I talk about Steam as well. That's another one that I didn't get in time. Fessing up to my misdoings. I followed these coins as they were exploding. Before they exploded, I was fully aware of them and their technology, and I did nothing about them. So that will be later in this video. It'll be towards the end. But yeah, gas has been doing me real well. If you look at EOS in US dollars is at around $10.30, and it is on its way up right now. The divergence is about to happen. If you could take a look at, there's the purple line and the yellow line, and the yellow line is about to surpass this purple line, meaning that this trend is gonna reach new heights, or most likely will reach new heights unless it sees resistance like almost immediately. Then the trend might change, but I don't see that. This looks like some serious momentum upwards. This divergence, this is moving average divergence, so this isn't using the MACD or anything like that. This is just the moving average of the last week compared to the moving average of the last 25 days. And these altcoins are very interesting in that the divergence between these two often leads to increases in price and decreases in price, depending on which is diverging upward. And in this particular time, we can see that the moving average for the last 7 days is about to overtake the purple line, and we're gonna see some good momentum upwards. I don't see that that yellow line flattening out anytime soon. I think that's going to continue to do as it did over the course of the last 2 days right here. I think it's going to be a little bit volatile in the upward direction. It seems like it's ready to be traded, but only like a short-term trade. This isn't ready long-term. The long-term trend right now, we just made a new high right here on the 6th that is much lower than this high on the 4th. I got into this long-term when it was at a lower price, when I was looking at the market cap, and it was a good investment at that time. Right now, I'm just looking at it more as a commodity to be traded. Moving on, I'm going to go over to coin market cap right over here. And again, these aren't the most accurate readings for price, at least as it pertains to the US dollar price, because everything's reliant on what they say for Bitcoin. And if they're off for Bitcoin, then the rest of what they're putting out there is going to be wrong. Anyway, moving down here, something that we can spot right off the bat. I like talking about Tron. Tron's market cap went down 3 billion today. I don't think that means anything, but it's just noteworthy in my opinion. QTUM exploded today. I think that is, other than gas, the most noteworthy spike of the day. I am invested in QTUM, and this pop is a good one. Right now it says it's at $96, but this could be wrong. There's actually QTUM over here. $64.66 it says on there. So this seems a bit off. A serious bit off. I wonder why that is. But I did see Quantum, reach new heights. It's just not as high as it is on here. I think it retraced a bit below this 75 mark here. We'll see what's up with that. Probably tomorrow I'll check up on it again, just to make sure it's not like a glitch or anything. Monero increased like a good amount, and Neo continued up. This I don't understand. You see, Bitcoin Gold is not at $311.99. It's not. I know that for a fact, because if you go on Binance or if you go on Bittrex, it's in the 250s right now. It's a remarkable difference. Oh, and yes, how can I forget about this? Lisk was one of my OG original buys. I had faith in this for a long time. I recommended this to friends before I even got into it, because I had taken a look at it, and I'd gotten really high recommendations of it from a lot of people before I started giving that advice. And I was giving that advice way back in September right here. So when it was at $6. Now, I didn't have much at $6. I didn't have much to put in. So I, could only have so much. And then when it exploded, I bought it at 20. and 22. So now it's going up. Yeah, I bought it right down here. The reason why I bought it 22 is because I kind of understood that this is going to be the last of this particular buy range. So now it's up, and that's pretty nice. Don't know if it's 34 because, you know, we can't trust everything on this site, you know, price wise. I did want to click on Ryblox real quick. It says Ryblox is at $29 roughly. I think this is a smart investment tactically. It looks like it's making a new low, but the low is a bit higher, like a solid like $3 higher than the previous low. So I can definitely see this oscillating in this territory for a while. So people might have to settle, like people who are just trying to like figure out how to, like, say they had no idea how to get Ryblox, and they're just getting the ability. For someone who's just using technical analysis to get into this, you know, it's a bit late. Like all the profits were down here clearly, like in December 22nd, and before that, you know, even, you know, December 30th. And so now for the people trying to pick up the scraps, this would be a good buy position because it's hitting the low. It's hitting I bet it's hitting a retracement level. I can almost guarantee that. And we'll talk about that when I get up to Skycoin. But yeah, this is an interesting buy point for Ryblox. I might go in on this a little bit. I wouldn't put too much in, you know, just a little bit. Just throw a little bit there. Skycoin, I know that popped a little bit. It's not really noteworthy though. I know Verge is keeping itself afloat. I said it would make a pop to 20. It made its pop, and then it, you know, kind of sagged behind, and now it's up to 18 cents, I guess. So we'll see what happens with Verge. I hear bad stories about Verge. I'm kind of worried. I might just take my profits. But moving past that, I have a funny story to tell. So Zcash, it says it's up 46.43%. Last night, I was like in bed on my Binance account, just like getting in my head, you know, because I'm like trying to get to sleep. So I'm on Binance and I see Zcash, and I have a bit of Zcash, and I'm like, why do I have this? Like, why do I have this? I had totally forgotten about, you know, like their concept. So I had to look at their website and just like to make sure, but I was like this close to like pressing the sell button, changing it back into Ethereum while it was in the 900s. That was my concept right there. But I didn't, you know, I guess out of gut luck. And then it pops today. It says it's past 850. It's ridiculous. It probably isn't. But if it's as high as like the 700s or the 600s, that's still mad profit for that. I'm happy about that. So just a story to remind you not to let your emotions get in the way of your decisions. I don't let it influence me often, but sometimes it happens, even if it's not successful. That's kind of all I want to talk about on this page. And as you can see, Steam here, it's up 8%. That's not really noteworthy. It's in a bit of an oscillation period between $5 and $7. I want to get it around $5. If I can pull it off, that'd be amazing. But it's probably not going to happen. It'll probably move up in price range before it goes down that far. Here is the footage talking about how I missed out on Steam and Skycoin. All right, look at that. So Steam has gone parabolic. What do I have to say about that? Well, that I knew about Steam since November, and I didn't do a damn thing about it. Steam. The one that got away. That and Skycoin. They really got away from me. I could have gotten Skycoin below $10. It does have $1 billion market cap, and it is only $7. So that is cause for concern, but not too much. Because if you look at the market cap from November, from the end of November, it was only 257 million. So looking at that, it was clearly a fine buying point to do it down here and not up here. It's certainly not worth up here. But that is the one that got away, and I've been looking back on it, thinking to myself, how did I mess this one up so bad? But it's not as bad as Skycoin. I might as well show you guys that as well. Show you all my misjudgings. Like, I knew Skycoin was going to go up. I just didn't care. Look, it has a max supply of 100 million. It's like nothing. Oh my goodness. By the time it reached here, I was like, oh, I just don't care. I'm not going to invest anymore. Now that I think of it, this is a very, very intriguing cryptocurrency. And if it drops again, I'm probably going to buy this one up, because I'm not going to doubt this cryptocurrency anymore. If I find an opportunity to buy this, I will. I actually believe that it's on its way to another change. So if I find Skycoin down near $36, I'm gonna set my eyes out and try and get me some of this coin that only has a max supply of 100 million. Okay, let's talk Skycoin real quick. This is roughly 8 to 10 hours. No, this is like 12 hours after my last look at Skycoin. And it's interesting because it goes down and it hits the 50% retracement level slightly. But not really. It's more just like keeping this trend up of staying above the 50% retracement level. And it's really hovering around that 61.8 mark. Just looking at this with the fibs perspective alone, it's a good time to buy as an investor. I'm definitely gonna get this. I'm not gonna miss on another Skycoin boom. I will say, as a disclaimer though, that from a technical analysis standpoint, like a normal one, that the trend is the bull trend has been broken by this high here on the third, I believe that is, or maybe the fourth. That trend was certainly broken. So we're looking at lower highs and higher lows. So the disclaimer I want to make is that this is not a bull trend. This is a pennant trend. A pennant meaning that the highs are getting lower and the lows are getting higher. So it kind of ends up going like this, the highs are getting low, lows are getting higher. So it looks like a pennant flag. That's the way. And if the opposite of that, is happening, megaphone, that might be like flipped, but I don't care. Just deal with it. So Skycoin, I'm certainly not going to miss out on this opportunity again. Who knows, maybe it drops to another retracement level like the 38.2%. But even then, I mean, that's not really that much loss if it goes up past its recent, not most recent, but this all-time high right here in the 40s. That'd be amazing. So that's enough of Skycoin. So now you've heard my take on Skycoin and essentially how I missed out on it and why I'm going to get back into it. These fibs lines and keeping with my technical analysis, I think that I'll still make a good amount of money off of this coin in 2018. With that being said, I do have one final thing to wrap up this episode, and that is some more footage that I recorded about 10, 12 hours ago. When I look at this coin that I'm going to recommend, they're just changing the game. And it's cool to look at coins that are really innovating. And this coin, this group of people that made this ICO happen, this personal ICO happen. So enjoy. The ticker is QAU, and you can find it right here on Livecoin. I have that up there, the tab. So enjoy the footage. So let's move on to something that I'm very excited about. Very, very, very excited about. It is called Quantum. This is awesome. And oh my goodness. So it says Quantum is one of the first real deflationary currencies in the world. Now, you might be thinking to yourselves, deflationary? Why does that sound familiar? Well, it's because deflationary is the opposite of the system that we have in our fiat currency system, that the US dollar is based off of. We are an inflationary currency, the US dollars. This deflationary, so must be opposites. So what would change? What would be the opposite? Essentially, when our Federal Reserve prints paper consistently every year, more and more, they basically inflate, the cost of everything. Dollar is worth less and less every year. Dollar is worth 2% of what it originally was, when we moved off the gold standard. I have no reason why we did that. That was the stupidest move our country ever made, going off the gold standard. Jeez, what were we thinking? We were the most prosperous economy in the world, and then we just had to mess with stuff. And they use a process called destruction in order to get rid of extraneous coins at the end of the month. So every month, coins are bought up and bought up and bought up, and then it goes, and the profits, which is usually in Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or US dollars, they actually accept all forms. This cryptocurrency does. It transfers, it exchanges into all four of them. They basically take their profits and put it into a pool, a liquidity pool, they call it. Here, I'll show you the process down here. And yes, as you can see, the funds, they go into the liquidity pool, provides the liquidity so they can make profit, so they can, later on, I'll get to it, buy back the QAU. Not all of it, obviously. People are going to be smart enough to stay in the QAU market after just a month. But whatever they can buy up later, they put into the black hole address and they destroy it at the end of the month. But let's go back here to the liquidity pool. It doesn't really give an explanation in this over here where I'm circling with my mouse, but it does up here in the how. So when the liquidity pool is filled, these Bitcoins are then put to work and generate interest from lending to exchanges for margin trading, making markets, arbitraging price differences between different exchanges and other forms of possible low-risk income generation. So in layman's terms, they're essentially using a bot to make low-risk investment decisions and generate small amounts of income. But since there's a lot of since there's a lot of funds in the liquidity pool, that low risk system puts out a lot of output. So then, as it explains further, all income from these activities is then used to buy back quantum tokens, QAU tokens, on the market and send them to a black hole address. So does it say buy back all quantum tokens on the market? No, it doesn't say that. So essentially each month, more and more people are going to have quantum tokens stored up. They're chill in their owners' wallets or wherever, their exchange or whatever. but after this, they're all destroyed. This destruction process is what got me in the beginning. I was like, what? Why are they destroying coins? Now I understand. In order to create a system that is opposite to the inflationary one, you must be able to destroy some of the tokens that are created. So in this particular cryptocurrency, there is no max supply or anything like that. Here, I'll take a look up here. Here's the destruction timeline. Here's the coin supply. So there are 77 million coins out there right now. And that's the projected one. And as you can see, it's going down in ones basically every few seconds. And that means that more and more people are buying QAU tokens. So for the month of December, or this month that's being finished, they have already bought back 98,000 QAU. That's a lot. They're not buying back all of it. They're buying back enough to make it so this truly is a deflationary currency. Yeah, I'd be interested in, knowing more about that particular piece, because most people would be interested in asking, oh, well, how do you know how many quantum to buy back, in any given that's all done with algorithms and stuff. Like, I'm not going to challenge that, but I'm curious how you can just destroy coins. Like, does it send the coins into the blockchain? Is it possible that these coins could be brought back from the dead? I don't know that, but it seems like they got their bases covered. So this is something that I just invested in. It's a good technical buying point. I'm not telling people you should, you should get this, but it is intriguing enough to take a look at. If you haven't taken a look at this, quantumproject.org. It's cool. Read the white paper. I think they have a report. Yeah, they have a report. And they have, sections. Also, it does tell you which wallets / exchanges to get on if you need it. And Livecoin is a complete, exchange, and I've taken a look into it, and I actually, like what it is. And it's actually pretty easy to make an account. Very, very easy. Set up your authenticator, do what you got to do, put in a PIN. But why I'm telling you guys this right now is because if you're trying to make a Bittrex account or a Binance account, Binance and Bittrex aren't accepting any new people right now. So you're going to have to look for another exchange. And I'm here to say, I've tried Livecoin. It's a good one. Yeah, it does the job. I've also recommended Kraken. Kraken, I know a lot of people use Kraken. You can get EOS and most of the big coins on there.